What's up, everybody? NTCertified here, and today is Tuesday, which means it's time for part 3 of my wrestling story. And we're going to start with an updated promo, 2010. Check it out. Once again, Andre the Spider Silva's back in front of the camera where he belongs. And on April 16th, Tall Cedars Hall is going to get hit with this huge 20-man double ring ladder match. And atop of those ladders are going to be two contracts. Two contracts for #1 contender spots for the EWA Heavyweight Championship. Now, I've never been in a ladder match, but when you got looks like this, who needs practice? So at Evolution 2K11, I'm going to bring my talent, I'm going to bring my looks, I'm going to bring these, but those are for a later time. Now the difference between all those other guys and me is that I can make that belt look good. Almost as good as this face. So I would say that their promo's a little bit better than the first promo. The first one I was completely lost because we didn't take any like promo classes. We weren't trained on how to talk. It was just something that we just did on the fly. And that second one was on the fly. And if you notice, there were some heelish, parts to it, which means that I changed. And that pretty much came because I lost the title to another guy that they were really hot on at the moment. So they took the belt off of me. Not that it meant much. And that was the point kind of where I determined that belts really don't mean anything. And maybe they thought that it did at some point, because I had a belt around my waist and I missed a show. And also had a belt, and I wasn't like in any featured match or anything like that. So I don't feel like the title meant anything when it was around my waist, and I don't think it meant anything when it went to the next guy. And that's just the way I feel about championships. I don't know, I guess with championships, the only real way for someone to make a championship important is when they hold it for a long time and they had spectacular matches. And the way that title bounced around, it didn't really mean anything to that point. So from that point on, I started doing like heelish things, because I was upset and frustrated in character that I had lost the championship. So I just started doing some heelish things and just changing my character up a little bit. And nobody really opposed to it, so I just kind of ran with it. But there was a point where I was taken off of another show. And I sat down with the owner at the time, and he told me, you look great, you're in shape, your moves are good, but you don't have a personality. And he's like, we gotta figure out what we're gonna do with your character. Like, who do you want to be? Try to get some personality out of you. Mind you, that there were other guys on the roster that had a lot less charisma than me, if you can believe that. But yes, there were, and a lot of people who got a lot less reaction than me also. But I mean, that's not the point. I was wrestling, I was having fun, I loved it at that point, and I was ready to do whatever I needed to do, to get back on shows. So we're gonna fast forward a few months after the change of character. I was full on heel at this point, so I figured, hey, alright, if I'm gonna do this, then I need to go full on with it. So what I did was I reached out to Tic Tac Sam and tried to get some new ideas going, some new ring attire, because I had quite a few different like pieces of ring attire at that point, just different colors, different designs that I thought about over time. Got rid of these humongous MMA gloves that were bigger than me. Made me look so much smaller wearing these big, huge gloves. And I just traded these in for some smaller, like sparring gloves, like some small training gloves, made me feel so much more comfortable. And I even thought up t-shirt designs, and I still have these, and I'll probably never get rid of them, that I had Tic Tac create in Australia. And they just had like boxing gloves on the front, on the side. It had like the spider design, and on the back would have been spider. Now if you look at this shirt is about twice the length of my body. Like, it's so wide, and I don't know if that's because of the way that they size things in Australia, but there was no way I could ever wear this shirt. Like, even if I cut it, you know, it wouldn't have worked out. But I had it in black, and I also had one in blue that I was gonna, you know, try to release and sell to make a small profit at shows, at what we call a gimmick table, you know. So I made the character change, and I was coming to training and doing my thing, trying to work on this new character. And we came up to the Sweet 16 tournament, which is a tournament where 16 people fight down to 8, down to 4, down to 2, just like a King of the Ring. And I was not supposed to be in the tournament, but at the last minute, I was swapped out and I was put into the tournament. The guy that was originally supposed to be in the tournament was set to go to the second round. So I figured, you know, they're going to swap me in. I'm going to go to the second round now. You know, I have my new attire. I'm looking good. I'm changing my look a little bit. And I'm ready to go, like, full on heel. Like, I think this is the first show that actually showed some, like, true personality, in my opinion. But right before the show happened, I want to say a few hours before, they changed the card, and I went out there and I went against the same guy that, you know, the guy that got pulled out was supposed to go against, but they had the other guy go over instead of me in the first round. So I was eliminated on the first round, and I had sold probably 10 or 15 tickets. I had quite a few people there watching me that night, and that was like a big thing at the time, was that if you can sell tickets, you know, you can get on the show and stuff like that. But a lot of, like, politics backstage started to come in. Like, there was a point where we were told that we can't work other promotions, like in the state of Maryland. Mind you, we weren't being paid. You know, there was no incentive to just work one place. Like, you work different places to gain experience and become better and work with different people, and we're being told that we couldn't work other promotions. So at that point I figured to myself, okay, I mean, that's fine. I mean, I just started getting on shows. Look, I'm not looking to work anywhere else right now, but there were other guys that had already started working other shows, and they're like, well, this is stupid. Like, why am I going to be exclusive to you? We don't have contracts. But they were ready to, like, kick you to the curb if you didn't. So a lot of us, you know, we only worked one company, and that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. So, long story short, this is the beginning of the end for me in this company, EWA. This was probably my last good match that I had here in the company. Actually, I would say second to last, because the last match was the double ring ladder match that I mentioned in the last show, where I defended the title. Well, we made it to the next double ring ladder match, and the match is an hour long, so I don't want to post it because I feel like that would be too long of a match to try and have you watch. You'd probably get bored. So what I'm going to show you is my match with Chase Rollins at the Sweet 16 tournament. And if you don't know who Chase Rollins is, that's the guy that I beat at the free show for the title or whatever. But this match was much better. I had more of, you know, a character base now, and I had a lot of fun in this match, and I think that's what's more important. So that's where I'm gonna leave you for today, is the match between me and Chase, and then moving on into next week. Maybe we'll get into the double ring ladder match in sports management, as I was supposed to become, like, one of the guys for this up and coming faction, and I was supposed to, lead this faction going into the future. But I was truthfully on my way out of the company and on to other things. So here's the mess between me and Chase. Once again, thanks for watching. This is NTCertified. I appreciate you. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you next week for part 4. Peace.